Behind me is the Harajuku station, and it's a shame because this building is set to be remodeled and changed soon, which is why I'm here today. There's a few buildings I'm going to be looking at, and I do think it's a shame that no matter how nice something can be, it ultimately turns to getting shut down. So we're going to be taking a look at some of these places before they are gone. And it's one thing to see someone else's photo that they could have posted. It's another thing entirely to see it yourself. So we are on a journey today. This is one of the first. See you at the next stop. Alright. Our next stop is the Meiji Jingu Shrine. I love this shrine. This is one of my favorite places in all of Tokyo to visit. I can't stress that enough to you. I absolutely love this shrine. Okay, you should be able to hear me. This was the very first shrine I've seen in Japan firsthand. I stumbled across this with my brother and his son completely on accident. And I'm kind of glad it was a happy accident. This one is just so nice to go and see. So the whole way down, there's just these walls of trees on both sides. And it just gives you this sense of calm. This is a really popular place to visit in Tokyo. It's right outside of the Harajuku station, so that's a really easy way to find it. It's between Shibuya and Harajuku. If you look on a Google map of the Meiji Jingu Shrine, it is really, really big. And for good reason. Emperor Meiji was a big deal in Japan. Small little river. Still got some cicadas singing. They're not all dead yet. Haven't heard them in a while though. Last month, you couldn't go a day without hearing them scream. There's an art museum over there. I love these. If I had a house, I would have those all along the walkway. I was planning on heading out to my next location, which is in Ginza. I really love Ginza. So much to see in Ginza. The huge Seiko store, the Sony store, all the buildings. It's It's one of my favorite spots. Ginza really confuses me though, because there's all these people driving cars everywhere, and I just don't understand where they park. I know there's parking garages, but it is not convenient at all. Forest Terrace, Meiji Jingu. So here we have old school sake barrels, and there's like the barrels you would actually distill them in. Sake plays a big part in Japanese culture, as well as its mythology in Shinto. Not a big fan of sake personally. It's okay. If somebody offered me it, I'd have a sip or two, but it's not my alcohol of choice. At the Harajuku station, there's a cafe up top. They had this really neat looking latte. And I almost was going to order it even though it was like $10. But then the lady said that the latte has whiskey in it, and it is not even 11 yet. And so for me, I don't want to drink that early, or really at all. Wow. You can tell Corona's really taking a toll here, because this place is usually packed, especially on a holiday, which today is another holiday. Monday was a holiday as well, but I don't know what these holidays are. Japan has so many holidays. But at least they have cultural significance, and they're not just greeting card holidays. Like Father's Day. Father's Day is not a holiday. Nor is Valentine's. Nor is Easter. Nor is Mother's Day. I've been in there once. That's a neat garden. That takes a lot of time to walk through that. Plus I think it's closed right now. I don't want to spend a ton of time here just because I have other places to go. I took my absolute favorite photo here at the beginning. It was either of December of last year or January of this year. If I can find it, I'll try and place it in this video. It is truly one of my favorites. I got it completely, I'm not going to say on accident, but I was not expecting it to turn out as well as it did. And the photo is so good that if somebody went over it with a filter set, it would ruin it. I've looked over 100 different filter styles, and I don't like picture presets. I feel like if you could take the photo absolutely amazing the first time, you don't need them. Here we are. The Meiji Jingu Shrine. Oh, they're letting the water in again. Now, typically, with the Shinto tradition, you would come up to one of these, but because of COVID, everything's changed. And this would be filled with water, and there would be like fountain heads, and you would take a spoon and you like wash your hands and you rinse out your mouth, and it's a purifying little ritual. But right now, all of that has changed due to this stupid virus. Because this is not what this shrine should be looking like on a holiday. You don't see too many Japanese flags hung up. That's really just an American thing. So this is the entrance. All right, let's go ask the Okami to send me a girlfriend. So, this tree is really fascinating. So these trees are planted as sets. So when they're planted, both of them are specifically planted as a pair, a husband and wife, so to speak. So you have a tree here and a tree here. And so, like what this says, these camphor trees planted in 1920 at the time of the enshrinement of the Meiji Jingu have grown under the protection of the deities to become huge and vivid and are considered to be sacred. Well known as Mito Kusu, or husband and wife, the coupled trees have become a symbol of happy marriage and harmonious life within the family. May happiness be brought to you through the divine power of these trees, which is true to nearly all things Shinto. Trees play an invaluable part to everything. But the rope is placed as a way to ward off something such as lightning. Okay, so I'm gonna set this down. All right. One thing I truly love about this shrine is all the scenery, from the end plates to the hanging lanterns. Just all of it. It's so beautiful. He has a Sony. I'm just wondering what lens he's using. It looks like the new 50G Master. So I know this is a different exit than what I came in. But yeah, here is one of the lanterns. I love the look of this. I've always wanted to come here at night. My only problem is the distance that I live from here is farther than I'd like it to be. Like, I want to explore the nightlife of Japan, but with COVID and the trains not out as late, I don't know. It's just not the same. Plus, flying solo is no fun. It's really hot today. All right. We will meet again at the next stop. At the second official stop and third stop of the day. And this one, I'm gonna have to find a better spot to show you because we are at the Capsule Tower. And I have to go across the street, so one sec. I wasn't quite sure how to show this one due to its location. Really hard to see, so we're gonna have to go around. I will tell you right now, I got the idea for this one watching Abroad in Japan. If you haven't watched that show, well, that's the YouTube channel I highly recommend. But let's see. Here's the building from the outside here. It's so cool. Like, this building was built in either the 60s or the 70s. I don't remember exactly the time it was built. But it was supposed to be the building of the future. And I can easily see why. It's cool design. It definitely looks like something out of a manga. This is really annoying. How do I get across the street? Let's see. What is the best way? Okay, there it is. Sometimes streets in Tokyo are a real pain. Like, Tokyo's easy to get around, but sometimes you want to get to a very specific spot, and trying to find the correct street or just anything can be such a pain. Ooh, look at that. GT3. That's probably my favorite thing about coming to Tokyo, is you never know what kind of cars you'll see. It's so nice. It's really hot today. I hate the fact that I didn't bring a hat. Okay, I see how I'm gonna get across. Tokyo is something else. You're not gonna find another city like it. Its history, it has progressed faster than any other city basically ever in the last 100 years. So much. And yeah, there are cities now that are kind of more impressive, like Shanghai. They just are not the same thing. Sumimasen. Dang it. I think I just got caught in an infinite loop. This building is just on this awkward street where you can't see it from the street that it's on because it's too close and it's too tall. So you have to come like over to the side. Okay, we got a perfect viewpoint from here. Okay. It's just really annoying. Okay, so this building is called the Naka-gin Capsule Tower. So Naka means center or middle, and gin means silver, which makes sense for the building itself. Okay. Alright, woo! Victory! This building 100% makes me think of Jet Set Radio Future. So, at the top you can see the top kanji for Naka, and then Gin, and you'll see Gin attached to bank because Ginko means bank. こんにちは。
中銀ビルを取材に来てるんですか？
はい、もうすぐありません。
YouTuber ですか？
あ、はい。
どんなチャンネルやってるんですか？
あ、チャンネル今ない。ちょっと作りました。
これすごい10万円ぐらいするバイク。
Yes, this is sadly the end of the new old. And it's a shame because I feel like 1960s Japan had the most futuristic ideas of anywhere in the world. And it does bother me that it is not lasting like it was supposed to. To summarize about this tower, it's a real shame because each one of those blocks was meant to be an easy to replace housing structure. So when it got old, you just replace what got old and everything else is fine. But the problem is, in order to get to any of them, it is far more complicated than just taking it apart. So sadly, the building of the future is just a thing of the past. And it is a real shame because Japan after World War II went through some of the most interesting progression of any country in the world. America liked to sit pleasantly in the 50s, which we all know how the 60s and 70s turned out. Not very well. Japan kept increasing during the 80s. If Japan didn't have its bubble pop during the 80s, they would be a number one. But it's impossible to tell the future, and when you're ahead, sometimes it's easy to get it in your head that you'll always be ahead. But this is sadly the end of a lot of things coming. And it's good to get out there and see it while you can, because one day it may not be there and it may be gone. But we can always look back on it and say, that was pretty cool. It's kind of like having an old game you loved as a kid and you can never find a copy of it now. But that's okay, because you still have memories of it, even if they're vague memories. But I guess my lesson of today's video is, get out there. Go see things. Do something special. Just don't sit around and think tomorrow it'll happen. Because as Marie Kondo says, tomorrow will never come. Whatever you put aside for tomorrow, tomorrow will never happen. And I know this all too well personally. So unless you get out there and you meet people and you just really decide to make something happen, then it'll happen. It doesn't matter if it's slow, and it doesn't matter if it's struggling. Just go do it. As Chase Jarvis says, make it until you make it. Just go do stuff. That's all that we can do. But on that, we're on to the next one. So this is not the end of the video, but the end of the Capsule Hotel. So I will leave you with this, and we will be off to the next one. See you then. Alright, we are at the last stop of the day. We are in Akihabara. Behind me are the Sega Arcade buildings, which will soon be shut down, unfortunately. I think this is a real shame, because the real enemy is time. And time, the times, will always be the enemy of everything. Whether you like classic arcades, Sega buildings, capsule hotels, iconic train stations, or really anything, this all comes into play of You have to enjoy something while it lasts. Being a classic game fan, a classic movie fan, a classic many things fan, some things will disappear to obscurity. You have to enjoy what you like because one day it might not be there. Just like I was about ready to give up on the PlayStation 3 when when the Bion's battery dies. And I was so close to the point of, if it dies, so does the PS3 to me. So I don't think there will be backwards compatibility with the PS5. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but that's not the point. The point is, you gotta enjoy it while you have it. You can't say, tomorrow I'll get to it, and then it never does. So, let's take a look and enjoy it while we have it. You can already see they're taking off signs. It's a real shame. I just wonder how many more buildings this will happen to. But aside from that, it was fun to take the day and come look at all these things. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to let me know what else you may want me to check out in Tokyo. Remember, time is never your friend. So, with that, have a good one, everyone.